Welcome to the Church of Caron, Bourbon, Bible, Blues, and Bees Hump Day. So I wanted to start off by showing you this beautiful ring. This ring, if you can see, I'll get it close here, is hand-designed and made by my lovely friend, creative genius, Cambria Parton. This is her card, and she refers to herself as the Metallic Muse Creations, and you can find her on Pinterest and Etsy and Facebook, and she designed this for me, and I just think it's brilliant. Love it. Thank you, Cambria. All right. So we're starting off tonight with a different setting, just a little bit. My cat is here. My other cat was on the other side. You can see his head right there. Ringo and Vincent van Gogh, a.k.a. Vinny. Ringo might come back and sit on the other side here. All right, so I've got lots of things to talk about tonight. But first of all, we're going to start off with, oh, there he is. Oh, no. He might not be nice to Vinny and get him off the chair. Uh-oh. Calvin Newborn. He was he had a great impact on Elvis Presley. And Elvis Presley is sort of controversial in the African American music community. But, oh boy. Calvin Newborn talks about how he actually taught Elvis a few things on the guitar, and Elvis would come down to the Beale Street in Memphis and listen to him at his plantation club, and he also would eat at Newborn's home and go through his gospel album collection. So a little factoid there. And this is West Memphis Blues by Calvin Newborn. Woo! All right. So I'm going to start off, because we're going into the holidays and Thanksgiving is coming up, doing a little different turn with the bourbon, using, of course, the fabulous Tennessee bourbon of Bob Dylan's with his wonderful gate art on the front, Heaven's Door. It's now in quite a few liquor stores, and so if you haven't gotten it yet, make sure to get some for the holidays. So I put together a wonderful drink. I'm going to call it the B-E-E, Happy Bourbon drink for the holidays. So this is 4 ounces of milk, 2 ounces of the lovely bourbon, a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, it depends on how sweet you like things, but I'm using the buckwheat that I've talked about before, buckwheat honey from Ojai. It's called Heavenly Honey. And half a teaspoon or a teaspoon if you really like things sweet. And then stir that up. And then I like to add some organic nutmeg to just enhance the flavor, and nutmeg is a wonderful spice, very good for you as well. So we have a beautiful drink there with the nutmeg on top. Let's try this. Oh, you gotta make this. It's really good. Okay, so that's cold, but you can do it warm too. And be merry. All right. So in the Bible, it talks about in Exodus about Moses He's in front of the burning bush, and God is calling him to go to Egypt. So in Exodus chapter 3, verse 6, he says, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Then Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God. And the Lord said, I have surely seen the afflictions of my people who are in Egypt, and have given heed to their cry because of their taskmasters. For I am aware of their sufferings. So I have come down to deliver them from the power of the Egyptians and to bring them up from that land to a good and spacious land, to a land flowing with milk and honey. Oh, yeah. That's Exodus 3, 6 through 8. And key words right there. Yeah, the interesting thing about the Bible is talking to you about numbers that the Bible has, but also the Bible is very succinct in the sense that it drops information and you either pick it up or you don't. But right there, milk and honey. Now, of course, Israel today is in an area of the Promised Land, but it's been quite whittled down. So as I talked about in my anti-Semitism video on the 31st, Israel is a very itsy-bitsy tiny country. And the Promised Land actually was much larger. But those areas are actually Arab countries that are around Israel. But parts of those actually were considered the Promised Land at that time, that Moses was to go into Egypt and deliver the Jews who were the slaves of the Egyptians at that time. So it's interesting, milk and honey. Well, I was doing a little research on that, and milk and honey, the reason why you want to add honey to your milk is that honey increases good bacteria in the milk. Really. I did not know this until I was researching this. And it shows that honey has fermentable carbohydrates, and so that's why it works. And it also aids in calcium absorption. So someone like myself who's been diagnosed with osteoporosis, this is a great drink, probably minus the bourbon, if I have it nightly. I don't know. But, so it increases the calcium. The honey increases the calcium. And then it also is great for an anti-aging skincare, and also helps sleeplessness. If you have a little honey in your milk, warm milk before bed. So just some factoids that I wanted to share with you that I did not know about that I thought was very interesting. Okay, honey, of course, there's a anti-inflammation aspects about it, and that's why I love it too, due to my fibromyalgia and other things that are going on. But there have been doctors in Greece that published in February 3rd, 2014, the topic honey and its anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antioxidant properties. And it's a great article to check out and read up on. But, it's interesting. The bees are just, can I just give a shout out to the bees again? 2 thumbs up, 10 fingers, levitation, not just because of their how they look. I love how they look with their little stripes, and but also they are the only insect that makes food for humans, and they're just incredible, complex creations. And again, that's hats off to the Magnus Opus creator, divine energy that we see in forms here on Earth. And, the more science researches any of these things that God has created for us, it just shows the complexity. The more and more scientists look at these, and the bee especially, scientists are observing it for its brain. They're observing it for its flight abilities. But the thing that struck me, and I've been researching this, is the enzymes that the bee carries. Now, when the bee goes to the flowers, and they go to 100 to 1,000 flowers a day, they will suck out the nectar, and then the pollen gets on their hind legs. They have little pollen baskets on their legs, and basically that holds their pollen. But the nectar is sucked up into their honey sac. Okay, the honey sac is not the stomach. So the honey sac is in front of the stomach. So they're sucking up the nectar. It comes into the honey sac. If the bee, when she's flying, needs energy, sustenance as she's flying, she will unleash a valve, boop, and some of that nectar will go into her stomach. But the stomach never goes into the honey sac. Okay, so sometimes people, they hear them say, oh, honey is bee vomit. That's a lie. 2 thumbs down, 10 fingers down. Don't lie. So, no, bees are such crazy, amazing creations. So they put when the nectar goes into that honey sac, the bee has enzymes that's mixing with that nectar. Then she flies back to the hive, and when she gets there, another bee is there waiting. And that other bee sucks the nectar from that bee that collected it out of her honey sac, like she would a flower. She gets it from the other bee. And now with her enzymes that are different from the other bees' enzymes, that's crazy. Then that might also be passed to another and to another. And it depends. They're also evaluating how much liquid is evaporating. This is also part of the process to get the liquid out. So then when they put it into the cell, the storage cell, if there's any liquid left, then they will fan it with their fabulous wings. And they'll get the rest of the liquid out with their fabulous fanning capacity. And then they'll cover it, because bees are so fastidious about cleanliness. Their hive and also this honey, they want to have it remain absolutely pure, and no contaminants are going to get into this honey. All right? I mean, I would just like to have a moment of silence. I mean, I'm so blown away. Actually, I think I'll just have some more of my lovely Be Happy Bourbon drink. Cheers. Hopefully you'll make some of this and you can join me. Mm-hmm. Or you can, when you make it, just think of me and be happy, because we have so much to be happy about in life, including the bees. And let's keep sharing information about the bees, getting the knowledge out there. We need to save these bees, keep buying bee honey products. You can go online and find different bee groups that you can support. And it's really necessary, because there is the plight of the bee, and the pesticides that the farmers are putting on crops or being forced to put on crops, if they want to go organic, those pesticides really screw up the precious bee brain. That brain is only the size of a sesame seed, but that brain is crazy brilliant. And I will share more with that with you the next time. But until then, be happy.